Farewell, Commander. Hello, Q. And wow, LockDownCon. Yep, today on Trekland Tuesdays Live with me, Dr. Trek, Larry Nemecek, coming at you right here from the heart of Trekland through Portal 47 for some clarity, sanity, and the big picture in all things Star Trek. Hey, I hope we're on a good signal, and I hope everybody is popping in here pretty quick. There we go. Hey, if you are finding us for the first time, hang tight. I'm going to talk about, well, I got a triple threat today. Got a triple whammy topics here. I don't usually do that, but we're going to hit 1, 2, 3 in a row. A lot of stuff to cover today, really, though. Some more news, some more things coming up. Hey, I just want to remind everybody that I also want to thank our Patreon folks, our TTL club, get it, and our live wires. Thanks to you guys and gals. Thanks to everybody. Yeah, listen, let's get on with it. I don't usually just, follow the news unless I've got something really personal to say about it, because I have 47 million other pundit YouTube and podcast brethren and sistren out there do the same thing. But this week, I did want to just give a couple of shout outs here and let you know about something coming up this weekend. Okay, so hang on. First of all, farewell, Commander. We lost Joanne Linville this week, just a couple of days ago. She was 93, had a wonderfully long life. She was such a memorable character. Romulan Commander on Enterprise Incident. We never saw her again on film, but she populated, especially in the first generation when you only had 80 episodes, 80 hours, 79 episodes. She populated so much of fan fiction because of, her linkage, her chemistry with Spock. And in the time when there were almost as many Romulan shows as Klingon shows with speaking characters. Only 2 Romulans, not that many more, only 3 memorable real Klingon commanders. So it really wasn't as far apart as we thought then, as it seemed in later days. And Joanne just inhabited that woman. She was a character actress. Much has been said about, she's one of those actors that worked constantly from the 50s through the 80s. Thank goodness for Star Trek elevating her craft here. She was also in a very memorable Twilight Zone episode. She played the Sunbelle with a great twist ending at the end. I wonder if we should rerun that episode. Oh, well, many Twilight episodes would be great to rerun these days. But it became a little more personal to me. I talked to her over the years very briefly, especially in the earlier years, but it was a great treat and amazing, and something a lot of you know of. It's her daughter, Amy Rydell, played that character on Star Trek Continues in the finale. And it was just amazing. The makeup, you've seen them. People have commented on that for the last few years. And then she was very sweet when that elevated Amy's online, her social media profile, her audience, and she was doing a lot of sweet things with her mom. Her mom loved seeing her playing the character that was retconned by various folks in and out of fanfic and profic, and then we used the name, James Kerwin, and the crew on Continues used the name Charvanek as a proper name, full name. Anyway, instead of calling that cumbersome Romulan Commander, and then you had to say, well, is it the male Romulan Commander from Balance of Terror that also went unnamed? Or is it the female Romulan Commander? And that's so bulky and unwieldy. She deserved more than that. She deserved better than that. It was such an incredible, she deserved to not be relegated to one appearance. But such is life. That's why it was a treat to see Amy amazingly pull off the look and the character so well. People thought we had put Joanne in a time machine and sent back to 1968 for that appearance. So yes. One more thing, someone, and I'd never thought about this, but then, I'm just a white guy. Someone noted that Joanne's Romulan Commander was the first time we had seen any female in command in Star Trek. I mean, totally man, not counting number 1 even as a second. And yes, Romulan, not Starfleet, but still. Amazing Dorothy Fontana episode, we should say. And of course, yet one that made a lot of the Spock files insanely angry at the way their attraction, their chemistry, their relationship was played out. As much as it thrilled a lot of the audience, a lot of the folks that had Vulcan canon in their heads at the time, all through the 70s, were not happy with that. And then it was compounded even more with Spock and Roxine's conversation in Cloudbinders. But that's a whole other chapter of history. Farewell, Joanne. Farewell. And hello, Q. And hello, good old fandom. The trailer for Picard Season 2 is out. It looks, I'm going to say this, it looks very linear. You almost forget that we're talking about a 10 or 12 episode story arc here, not individual episodes. And everything you see is playing into the fact that obviously something's wrong. Time is broken, not spoiling anything here at all. And all the scenes we see are meant to give us a sense of how people look in this different time. And Picard's at the pivot point of it, or as we should say, something that's not a surprise. And maybe it was supposed to be. Maybe it was supposed to be before John Delancey leaked it, spilled the beans like a month ago. Imagine what that trailer's impact would have been if we weren't forewarned, if it wasn't spoiled. So naughty, John. That was a very Q-like, impish act there to play on CBS promotion, Paramount Plus promotion department. But still, the trailer made a lot of waves, a lot of good stuff in there. Seems to me a lot of people didn't get the picture that it's obviously an alternate timeline where something's going to be restored, like we haven't seen that in of all the Treks, I think it was Next Generation that's played the most of with time like that, alternate time, timeline, broken time, revisited time. From the pilot with the post-Holocaust, Holocaust horrors courtroom, to the book ending of that again, but also the whole 3 phases of time, broken time, the time anti-time anomaly in the finale, and plenty of times in between for other episodes too. What got me though, and I didn't even see it in the first wave, we knew John Delancey was going to be in this. What are they going to do? We're going to deep fake his face? We're going to CG him back to looking like it's 1988 again? Or even 2005 in the last episodes of Voyager with his son Q2? Point here is I was a little taken. I thought it was a joke at first where people were upset that he was, the beard maybe it's mirror, but forget that. I think it's just a different look. There was a section of fandom that was upset that Q was older. Like the Q don't age. Guys, gals, peeps, the Q can do whatever the hell they want to. And as a lot of fandom has since pushed back on, which yay for it not being 2010. Yeah, the Q can do whatever they want to. And ye of little memory, let's not forget that when Q popped in to talk to Picard at the very beginning in Farpoint, he misjudged the time element. He popped in as a Shakespearean era, an Elizabethan era sea captain, and then he upgraded to a World War II Marine, and then he upgraded to a World War III, soldier with the drug pipe and the whole bit. He was not sure about what he should be doing. He might have been teasing, but it seems like he was not quite sure where to pop in. We've certainly seen him remember the floaty head Cobra? And yes, as many people pointed out, he and Picard, or he matched Picard's age, the whole thing with the hearing horn. We've seen Q old before. So it was an artistic, yes, John Delancey is older. So boo on all the fans who nicely said, well, it's because John's older. Well, yeah, but we don't care about that. This is Star Trek, damn it. And there's a reason for everything. And there's an easy reason for everything. As a lot of fans have said, Q was going to come at Picard. He was going to match him. Which is handy. Yes. It's like, the Romulans are getting their technology from the Klingons in 2269. And they're not using their birds of prey anymore. convenient when you toss the model away or it gets lost or stolen in real life. So sure, that's the real life of it. But in canon, it's there's totally a texture not trivia. There's totally a hashtag use the universe reason out there. Q is malleable. They're omnipotent, which means they can do anything. And just as a convenience, whether it was offered or whether it was asked, they're not throwing Delancey into a chair. Why emphasize how young he might even be with CGI? That would just serve to make Picard look old. I mean, the contrast would be weird. Then it would be who's out of time. Then you would wonder if this is Q from 25 years ago, not the Q from right now, as if that makes any sense. Right. We saw the many faces. And of course, John aged over the time from 1987 to 2000, not 2005, 2001, excuse me. That's Enterprise's last year. But even more than that, whether the long-standing, still not settled in canon, official on-screen canon, not even books, but there's still the lagging thing out there of Trelane and what exactly Trelane was. And if you halfway open the door to there being a connection, whether Trelane's a Q or what it is, remember that Trelane, which was a giveaway that he was a kid and not a mature, he wasn't up there as well his species might have allowed him to be, Q or otherwise, as cunning and as insightful a foe. Once the new wore off of, I've got transmutational powers and I can manipulate time and energy. Once that wore off, and the computer-killing persona of Captain Kirk came into play finally. But remember, Trelane betrayed the chinks in his armor by guessing the wrong era, too. He came at Kirk Napoleonically. So that's just a sidebar. Maybe you don't connect Trelane and Q, maybe not. My point is there is a history of the Continuum folks, the Q folks, being able to match. And we've seen them full of all kinds of foibles, from Quinn wanting to commit suicide to procreating and not procreating and then procreating again, and the foibles of adolescent Qs, vindictive Q judges taking away Q powers and giving them back. It's, why are we not had a Q series? What the hell would that look like? So yeah, it's, the biggest upshot of this was just watching good old fandom go at it and pop out there and having some people upset by that. I mean, what do they want? I guess people want to be frozen in time forever with the 80s, and that's wonderful. They're there and they're a historical document, but we're in another time of history here. And Q can wear whatever they want and look like whatever they want. And bottom line, the fact that Delancey's Q chose to do that is yet again another hashtag texture not trivia. If the Q really had the option to come in however they want, then once again, that's a choice. That is a choice by Q, just as surely as it was for him to try to throw the gang into the Sherwood Forest scenario, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. So anyway, that was amusing. It was as much amusing it was almost a total sideshow to just having the teaser. Anyway, I hope we're coming in on a good stream this week. I hope we are. Hey, I said three topics this week. Yes. Hello, LockDownCon. Have you heard of this? It's probably off your radar. That's why I'm doing it. This weekend, my friend Neil and Jaina, the Halfords, they're having an entire... Here we are. I've talked about it before. See the LockDownCon logo there. This is LockDownCon 2. Hey, weeks into the pandemic, before the rest of the world even began to pivot. I'm talking about Comic-Con. I'm talking about all the commercial cons. Before any of that happened, the world was still coming, well, most of the world. Some of us had been habitating here for a while. Thanks, TTLers. Thanks, Portales. My friends Neil and Jaina pivoted to having an all-virtual convention because they saw what was going. They were working on it in March. Put it out in June. LockDownCon was a great success. It was basically a full-fledged multi-spectrum Comic-Con, all kinds of ideas and topics A lot of guests, a lot of high-profile guests involved for 3 days, I believe. Well, LockDownCon II is coming because 3 or 4 months ago, we weren't sure quite how the summer was progressing. Here in the States, asterisk, in the States, in some of the states, things are going cautiously, tentatively well. Not in those states where the vaccination rates are low. And yes, around the world, there's a completely different reaction, including the supply of vaccine. It's a troublesome, uneven topic all around the world. So, LockDownCon II is happening again. It's 2 days this weekend, and yes, I'm on a panel. And did you see who's on this panel? Look at this. It's myself. It's the great Andre Bormanis. It's David Mack. And a couple of names that you may know if you're playing Star Trek Adventures. Hey, Derek Tyler Attico and Kelly Fitzpatrick. Okay. Awesome. It's not pre-recorded, as San Diego Comic-Con is. It's live. And you have the chance to do live chat interaction. Neil is the moderator. And we'll be live Saturday at 1 o'clock at LockDownCon.com. At the site, they also have a channel on YouTube, Facebook, and Twitch. So if you have a preference there, you can follow along. You can follow both days' schedule. The entire schedule for both days is at LockDownCon.com. It's up now. Our panel is live at 1 p.m. Pacific, 4 Eastern. The topic is, did you see that? But is it Trek? It's a question that never gets old, never goes away. And woe to those who think it's just something that popped up just now. No. It's just that time smooths all canon eventually, finds a way. So, hey, farewell, Joanne. Hello, Q, in whatever form you choose to take. And I see what you did there. So, let's see what I got stirred up. Let's see what I stirred up. Hey, everybody. I want to run down what's going on in Trekland real quick. I just told you about LockDownCon, right? Well, I want to first thank again all of our TTL clubbers here and our live wires, Blaze K, Robin Wilson, Lawrence Todd, Anne-Marie Siegel, Blake Arledge, Justin Porteous, and Nathaniel Robinson. Thank you, TTLers. And our live wires, hey, Rusty Harrell, Hubbard, Gun Johnson, Jalen Bullock, Gary Williams, Jared Cooper, Mr. Vestek, Robert McLean, and K.A.Z. Shafsky. If you want to help out, if you're not familiar with Patreon, go check it out. Patreon lets you support your favorite creatives project by project or even on an ongoing basis. Some folks have very complicated like crowdfunding platforms. Mine is very simple, $5 and $10 a month. They bill it. Everybody gets a shout out. The $10 folks get access, yikes, to original earlier year guest hours and 90 minutes in many cases that we had on Portal 47 with the Portales, right? It was behind the paywall, as they say. I also want to remind you all, think Trek. It's the Gene Roddenberry Centennial. This is what Roddenberry.co has branded Gene Roddenberry's Centennial Year. I've got something coming. We're still working on the page, but you get in touch with me. I'm offering a tour Trek. The Great Birds Origin Tour LA, October 16th and 17th weekend here in LA. It's 2 days of going to the venues and sites, boyhood homes, married homes, workplaces, LAPD. It's going to be with context, right? We're going to stop by some, stop at others, pass others by, but it's going to really give us an insight into this mind that, yes, was later added to, but where the heck did the revolutionary concept of Star Trek that has affected so many people and so many later generations of creators, so many, where did that mind, where did that life come from? And yes, Rod, his son, is going to be a special guest on chosen parts of the tour. It's all in the works. It's still coming together. It's still planning. It's exciting. Get in touch with me. I'm going to offer it with and without a hotel option in the pricing. Get in touch with me right now. Let me know in the chat or come over to LarryNemecek.com. Larry@LarryNemecek.com. Email me right now if you are interested. I know there's lots going on. People are still getting antsy about going to Vegas. Just a reminder that Geek Nation Tours, maybe for the last time, the way Vegas and the Rio and the way everything is in flux, we'll see what happens in future years. A lot of folks are braving the pandemic or what's left of it just to be at the Rio, just to be in Vegas one more time, even with the licensing shifting to Reed Pop next year. And if you are there, what may be the last time Geek Nation Tours, Terrace Cassidy and I offer the Valley of Fire, what I call the Kirk Memorial Tour. So go to geeknationtours.com, check it out. It's the #1 tour right now. It's the next one up. It's on Tuesday, Con Eve, so you don't miss anything of the 5-day con if you're going to Vegas. It's on Tuesday. If you've been with us before and want to come one more time, that's great. If you have been, tell others what it was like. It's lunch. It's the filming sites from Generation, as you might have guessed, out in the Valley of Fire State Park, which is an hour away from Vegas. But we are gone about 6-7 hours. And we're back in time for you to get your kick on for the opening night, con night, including STLV landing party at the Masquerade, which we're planning on having once again, maybe for the last time. Around the rest of Trekland, we are still on hiatus for the Trek Files, but hey, there's 6 seasons worth of catalog for you to check out. We will be back July 13th. Season 7 starts July 13th. Meanwhile, this weekend, yes, Life Support Live will be back. It'll be 10 a.m. Sunday Pacific time. Okay? 1 p.m. Eastern, 6 p.m. UK time, 7 Central European Summer Time. But it'll still be Dr. Trek and Dr. Ali, one of us being a real doctor, going boldly through uncertain times. Join us for Life Support Live. Go over and like the Facebook page. We've got the lifers in the chat, just like here. So, hey, it's good to see everybody. Hopefully the stream is held up. If you're with me on YouTube, that's my Twitter, Larry Nemecek. If you're with us here on Facebook, that's my Instagram, Larry Nemecek's Trekland. And, of course, we're retooling. We've got some exciting things coming down the pike. But if you want to jump in, if you like where I come from, today wasn't such a controversial topic. I just wanted to give some shout-outs and some nods. And, okay, a little commentary there with good old Trek fandom on the Q situation. Controversy? I think not. Use the canon, Luke. You can join us every month in Portal47.net. Hey, it's like a mini-con all year long. We've been doing this for nearly 6 years. Thanks so much for everybody joining us today. If you're on YouTube, we're going away, though. Stay healthy. Yes, still do all the things. Stay woke. Check the sources. They're out there. They're multiplying. I've seen people I know with more and more fake accounts. Check out who it is you're dealing with if you feel like being drawn in. And most of all, trek well, everybody.